There are no empty spaces. What does it mean to know this? What does it mean, more importantly, to act on this? It means to move beyond imagining to creating. It means to acknowledge and make manifest the presence of those who walk with us as we move through the spaces that make up our lives. It means to leave our imprint on the world with the awareness that no one ever does this work alone. We need each other for inspiration, for support, for purpose. So what does knowing this mean for education? It means that the teachers, students, parents, and administrators who move through the spaces of their schools, regardless of the level, must make room for theory in the flesh. They must let the bodies that inhabit their schools inhabit their minds, and the hearts that inhabit those bodies drive the work of teaching and learning. There are many, many people who embrace the reciprocity of the educational experience. They strive to make the classroom a threshold, a place of possibility, where the outside and inside overlap, interweave, clash, challenge, and coexist. They live in the cracks, on the fence, and at the crossroads. But there are also many others who, because of fear or oppression, silence themselves and attempt to silence others. They impede the creative flow of memories and ideas that make empathy and connection possible. Most become their own obstacles. So much can happen when we make space within ourselves for what we want. I realize, too, that when we do that, we will be surprised at the new spaces that open up to us. We will be surprised by who ultimately offers the guidance we need, and how or when they do. This is why we need to approach our work as teachers and learners with the openness Anzaldúa describes below. You yearn to know what the ever-present inner watcher is asking of you. Loosening your grip on the known and reaching for the future requires that you stretch beyond self and culturally imposed limits. By now you've found remnants of a community, people on a similar quest or path. To transform yourself, you need the help, the written or spoken words of those who have crossed before you. You want them to describe las puertas, to hold your hand while crossing them. You want them to mentor your work within the Chicana, queer, artistic, feminist, spiritual, and other communities. To learn what to transform into, you ask, how can I contribute? You open yourself and listen to the Nahuala and the images, sensations, and dreams she presents. La Nahuala's presence is so subtle and fleeting, it barely registers unless tracked by your attention's radar. Your inner voice reveals your core passion, which will point to your sense of purpose, urging you to seek a vision, devise a plan. Your passion motivates you to discover resources within yourself and in the world. It prompts you to take responsibility for consciously creating your life and becoming a fully functioning human being, a contributing member of all your communities, one worthy of self-respect and love. You want to pursue your mission with integrity, to honor yourself and be honored. What Anzaldúa describes here enables us to meet in any seemingly empty space and see its fullness. We see value in knowing and understanding the stories of others, whether they share our own experiences or not. In coming to know each other, we will have to move out of what is comfortable, safe, and known to us. We will, of necessity, move into the space of the unknown, but not the unknowable. Moving into the space of the unknown is not an option solely open to artists or poets, although the inner voice that drives them to create and express themselves often pushes them towards it. We are nudged towards the unknown by the relationships that encourage us to be vulnerable to each other and to ourselves. It is education we may all engage in as teachers and learners who both possess and hunger for the kinds of knowledge that gives our lives meaning and purpose. When we nurture this work internally and externally, we become more intimately connected with the creative spirit that inhabits each of us. Just imagine what is possible.